Good morning, Dopey. Your favorite podcast. Now a YouTube show. Good morning, Dopey.
Good morning, Dopey, and welcome to another installment of your favorite daily reflection, deep yet shallow dive. Good morning, Dopey. My name is Dave, and I'm here with my associate, Howie.
His associate is very professional.
Well, that's right.
I like
my
that.
stooge, producer,
Stooge is
idiot, fucking guy,
my
old
built-in moron.
old chum,
Yeah,
normie, who's somehow getting very involved in the addiction world.
that's what she said.
Is it weird to be so involved in the addiction world when you?
No, I love it.
Why?
It's fascinating. What do you mean? It's interesting. Something I'm not familiar with.
No, how have you learned anything from this little four-way into the
I have.
doposphere? What have you learned?
I've learned that recovery is a very complicated thing.
Yes,
I've learned that it takes persistence
yes.
and a lot of hard work.
Okay, you knew that though. You didn't learn
I don't
that.
think I fully appreciated it as much as I do now.
As evident. What?
Because
what's-
I've never been near it, so I've never known.
So it's my persistence and hard work that's rubbed off on you.
I believe so.
Nice.
Yeah, I like the dedication of it. I like that there's dedication. I'm a little OCD, so I connect with that a lot.
Do you like the OCD of this daily reflection?
I love the fact that we're doing it
No matter what.
no matter what,
Rain or shine.
just to do it.
Just to do it.
Yeah.
And some people had made some comments. And my favorite thing about the daily reflections is the comments, frankly. Forget the daily reflections, but I like the comments. And a lot of people were happy that you're back on the daily reflection. Isn't that nice, Howie?
They're happy that I'm back.
Yeah, they're happy that you're back. But I'm going to read. This is a comment from when you were not back. It's from yesterday. No, it's from the 27th, not yesterday. Someone says, "Good morning from the Western Arctic with 30 days. Dave Stewart with 30 days." So let's applaud Dave Stewart. These are not great comments. Chris Torres, who put a picture of like a homeless bag lady on social media and said it was Dave. Some horrible picture. He says, "Appreciate the 10th step work. It's such a blessing for this new way of life. Keep it up, Dave. Toodles."
What does that mean? 10-step work.
The 10th step is...
Oh, 10th step.
The 10th step is when I'm going to read it to you. "We continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, we promptly admitted it." So doing a 10th step is like, I can make a mistake, I can mistreat you, but then later, because I apologize for it,
You're
I am
absolved.
absolved of that mistake. Or,
Very interesting.
and it's also a way to retrain the brain not to make the mistake in the first place. That's part of the whole thing. Anyway,
All right.
but I know you don't make mistakes.
Never.
So, here we go. January 29th, the joy of sharing. Life will take on new meaning to watch people recover, to see them help others, to watch loneliness vanish, to see a fellowship grow up about you, to have a host of friends. This is an experience you must not miss. We know you will not want to miss it. Frequent contact with newcomers and with each other is the bright spot of our lives. That's nice. To know that each newcomer with whom I share has the opportunity to experience the relief that I have found in this fellowship fills me with joy and gratitude. I feel that all the things described in AA will come to pass for them as they have for me, if they seize the opportunity and embrace the program fully. This is very nice. It's a little bit culty, as all of these things are, but I have a sponsee, and my sponsee is 62 years old, one of them.
Today?
No. Oh. And he has, I think, 26 years without drinking. But he came into the fellowship. What?
Your sponsee
Yes.
has how many years? Oh, boy. What was that?
That was the Dopey sign. 26 years. And why am I his sponsor, you might ask? Because he came in, he was having some personal problems, and he needed what this thing offers, this whole idea, the joy of sharing. He needed to be able to fellowship. He needed a community. He needed to be part of something. And why did he come to me? I don't know, because I'm incredibly
listens to the
charismatic.
podcast.
Brilliant. No, he's never listened.
Oh, now he will.
No, to this day, I have sponsored him for 2 years. He's never listened.
Why?
He's not interested. He's never listened. He didn't listen to me on Marin. Nothing. But I know that the joy of sharing is what's keeping my friend. He was always sober, but he wasn't happy, joyous, and free. And now he is because of that.
Because of you.
Because of me. But I get a lot out of the joy of sharing with Dopey and with 12 Step but I've always been a big sharer. I've never been a loner. I've always been a collaborator. Anyway, Howie, what did you get out of this? Anything?
I mean, I totally see that point. And I love that. I love that you have this sponsee that's like so far in it.
Yes.
But then turns to you, but doesn't care about anything that you're doing. Just wants the stability, I guess.
He likes
the fellowship thing.
He thinks I'm funny. Mm-hmm. He thinks I'm light, and I don't know. I think honestly, he came in. He had 25 years of sobriety. He didn't know what to do. If somebody handed out a meeting list, right? Everyone wrote their name down, and he was having like problems at home. And I went up to him after the meeting, and I was like, that's me, because it's like 20 numbers. I said, that's me. If you want to call me, give me a call. I'm sure you won't call me though. And then I think because I said that, he felt comfortable to call me, and then he asked me if I would sponsor him.
Is the relationship between a sponsor and a sponsee basically someone you can call any time of the day?
No. I mean, yes, the true nature of a sponsor and a sponsee is the sponsor takes the sponsee through the 12 steps.
But he's already been doing this for years.
He never went through the 12 steps.
Okay. Now it's making more sense. So he was just sober on his own.
He went to AA for a few years, and then he stopped going.
Got it.
And then he just didn't drink again because he knew that his life would be terrible if he did.
But then he was starting to feel bad again.
He had other problems, and he didn't have a spiritual foundation.
Got it.
So he wanted to try doing the program for real.
So smart. He was smart enough to know,
yes,
I'm going to need something.
Yes.
Okay, now it makes sense. Because
Yes.
I'm thinking like he's been in the program for that long. And then
Not
he
in
just
the
says,
program. He didn't work the program. He went for a little bit, he dropped out, and then I've been taking him through the steps, but we've been going pretty slowly. I think we're still in the middle of step 4, which is a huge step.
Is when you say you're in the middle of step 4, so not everybody is on step 1 right now? You don't start the step
No, but that would be an interesting idea that every year you start over. But no, you do the step. I mean, in the book it says you do them once. I'm in the middle of doing them a second time, and I'm on step
But
10, I guess.
If you're doing the daily reflections today, it's step 1.
Well, I'm doing the daily reflections today, and we're reading an excerpt that is born out of the first step, which says we admitted we were powerless over alcohol and that our lives had become unmanageable. But once you do the steps, you have no reason, you don't need to do them again. A lot of people do, because it keeps it fresh and it keeps them connected, whatever. But most people do it once, and then they help somebody else go through the steps, and they kind of redo it with the person
On their own timeline.
What do you mean?
Well, because you're saying you're in the middle of step 4, but it's step 1 right now. It's the first month of the year.
You're being too literal. Like, this guy was like, let's start doing the work. And I was like, great. I was like,
So whenever you start, you start.
yes. You don't have to wait for January to start. You can do step
No,
1.
I just assumed if you come in the middle of the year, whatever month you came in.
No,
that's the step you start.
because you cannot do the 6th step
Got
without
it.
doing
So
1,
you
2,
always
3, 4,
start at
and
step
5.
1,
Always.
but for maintenance purposes, you could just align yourself with the calendar year if you wanted to, just to make it easy. So there's someone right now reading the daily reflections, but they're off calendar. So where you're turning to today's date, they're turning to some random date in July.
No.
Why would you read the daily reflections?
Because the daily reflection isn't about step working. It's just a thing for the day.
Okay.
It just so happens to correlate with the
Got
step
it.
to make it easier to kind of have these things in meetings.
Okay. Now
I think you're ruining our show, by the way, with all these questions.
Oh, I won't ask any more
This should be much tighter. How long is this thing?
That's about half an hour.
All right,
That's
Dopey
12
Nation,
minutes.
I know you probably really appreciate Howie's questions. Howie, it's a very nice job. Have you learned anything today? What have you learned?
I learned that you have a sponsee who's been sober for a long time.
Yes. What else did you
That's
learn?
great.
You didn't
about
understand the
fellowship.
daily reflections at all, did you?
No, I did.
You had no idea of what it was.
What do you mean? I understand it.
But you think
I'm
that you
trying to
have-
think of how to connect with it. I understand it fundamentally.
Well, the real gist of the daily reflection is
Yeah.
that, like, I think, because what the fuck do I know? But I think the gist of the daily reflections is to, like today, to reflect on your loneliness disappearing and fellowship making you feel better. And you kind of say, okay, that was nice. And then you go through the day feeling good that your loneliness is lessened and you can call somebody. And I feel good that you're here with me, makes me happy,
Nice.
ruining our show.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's what I do best.
I know. So,
All right, perfect.
Any other questions before we go?
No, I'll have 100 more on future episodes.
Are you sure? No other questions? That's it?
That's all I could think of.
Now, Dopey Nation, please leave comments. So I know you're going to support Howie's questions, so I think that's very nice. And have a great day. And don't live in loneliness. Reach out to people. Be part of the community. The greatness that is the Dopey Nation and the 12-step communities. Namaste, my brothers and sisters. Stay strong and fucking toodles for Chris.
Dopey, I'm face down on the floor. Dopey,